Greenland's story begins long before the arrival of Europeans. For thousands of years, the Inuit people thrived in this harsh, icy environment. They adapted to the extreme cold and limited resources. They hunted seals, whales, and other Arctic animals. Their survival skills and deep connection to the land are a testament to human resilience.
Around the 10th century, Norse explorers ventured westward from Scandinavia. They reached Greenland's shores led by Eric the Red. These hardy seafarers established settlements, farming the limited fertile land and hunting walrus for ivory. Their sagas tell tales of exploration, survival, and ultimately their disappearance.
The Norse presence in Greenland lasted for several centuries. However, changing climate conditions and other factors led to their decline. The Inuit, with their ancient knowledge of the Arctic, endured. They remained the sole inhabitants of Greenland for centuries. Their story is one of remarkable adaptation and perseverance in one of the world's harshest environments.
In the 18th century, Denmark asserted colonial control over Greenland. They claimed the island, ignoring the Inuit people who had called it home for generations. The Danes established trading posts and missions, attempting to integrate Greenland into their own economy and culture.
Greenland, geographically isolated and with a challenging climate, remained largely cut off from the rest of the world. The Inuit population, while subject to Danish rule, continued their traditional ways of life. They relied on hunting and fishing for subsistence. Their communities were spread out across the vast, sparsely populated landscape.
Danish influence brought significant changes to Greenlandic society. It introduced new technologies, healthcare, and education systems. However, it also led to cultural assimilation policies and a dependence on Danish economic support. This colonial legacy continues to shape Greenland's identity and its relationship with Denmark today. World War II brought unexpected change to Greenland. Denmark, occupied by Nazi Germany, was unable to maintain its hold on its distant colony. The United States, recognizing Greenland's strategic importance, stepped in. They established military bases and weather stations on the island. This marked the beginning of a new era for Greenland, one where it became a pawn in the emerging Cold War. With its location between North America and Europe, Greenland became strategically vital. The Arctic was no longer a remote, isolated region. It was a potential front line in the ideological and military standoff between the US and the Soviet Union. The US expanded its military presence, building air bases and radar stations to monitor Soviet activity. Greenland found itself caught between two superpowers. The Danish government, though officially neutral, allowed the US to maintain its military presence. This period saw the further integration of Greenland into the global political landscape. It also marked the beginning of significant social and economic changes for the Greenlandic people. After World War II, the desire for self-determination grew stronger in Greenland. The Inuit population, increasingly aware of their own distinct identity, sought greater control over their own affairs. Denmark, recognizing these aspirations, granted Greenland home rule in 1979. This was a significant step towards greater autonomy.
The 1979 Home Rule Act gave Greenland its own parliament and control over many internal matters. However, Denmark retained authority over foreign affairs, defense, and currency. Greenlandic, an Inuit language, was recognized as the official language. This marked a turning point in the island's history.
In 2009, Greenland held a referendum on further self-governance. The result was a resounding yes vote. This paved the way for the Self-Government Act, granting Greenland even greater autonomy. While Denmark still maintains control over some key areas, Greenland is now responsible for its own government, laws, and natural resources. This move towards self-determination is ongoing, with full independence remaining a possibility for the future. Section 5. A prize in the Arctic, strategic significance and global interest. Greenland's geographic location has long been of strategic importance.
Situated between North America and Europe, it sits astride vital sea lanes and air routes.
The shortest distance between many major cities in the northern hemisphere lies across the Arctic.
As the ice melts due to climate change, these routes are becoming increasingly navigable.
The Arctic region is also home to vast, untapped resources, including oil, gas, and minerals.
Greenland's potential wealth has attracted the attention of global powers, all eager to secure access to these resources.
The melting ice cap is also opening up new possibilities for shipping and fishing.
Greenland's strategic importance goes beyond resources.
Its location makes it an ideal place for monitoring military activity in the Arctic.
The US, Russia, and other countries are all increasing their military presence in the region.
Greenland's role as a potential platform for surveillance and defense is only likely to grow in the coming years.
Beneath Greenland's ice and permafrost lie vast reserves of natural resources.
These include rare earth elements, uranium, iron ore, and oil and gas deposits.
These resources have the potential to transform Greenland's economy and propel it towards greater independence.
However, extracting these resources comes with significant challenges.
The harsh Arctic environment makes resource extraction difficult and expensive.
The lack of infrastructure, skilled labor, and environmental concerns are all major obstacles.
Greenland faces a delicate balancing act, harnessing its resource wealth while protecting its fragile environment and traditional way of life.
The international community is watching Greenland's resource development closely.
China, in particular, has shown a keen interest in investing in Greenland's mining sector.
This has raised concerns in the West about China's growing influence in the Arctic.
Greenland's resources are a key factor in the geopolitical maneuvering taking place in the region.
Climate change is having a profound impact on Greenland.
The Arctic is warming at twice the rate of the rest of the planet.
This is causing the Greenland ice sheet to melt at an alarming rate, contributing to rising sea levels worldwide.
The melting ice is also opening up new shipping routes through the Arctic Ocean.
The Northwest Passage, a sea route connecting the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans through the Canadian Arctic archipelago, has become increasingly navigable in recent years.
The Northern Sea Route along the Russian Arctic coast is also seeing increased traffic.
These routes offer significantly shorter travel times between Asia and Europe, potentially reshaping global trade patterns.
Greenland finds itself at the forefront of this changing Arctic environment.
It is both a victim of climate change and a potential beneficiary of the new opportunities it presents.
The country faces the challenge of adapting to a changing climate while also capitalizing on the economic potential of new shipping routes and access to its resources.
Greenland has become a focal point for geopolitical competition in the 21st century.
The United States, recognizing Greenland's strategic importance, has renewed its interest in the island.
The Trump administration's offer to buy Greenland in 2019, though swiftly rejected by Denmark, highlighted the island's growing geopolitical significance.
The European Union also considers Greenland a key partner.
Greenland is a part of the Kingdom of Denmark and therefore has close ties to the EU.
The EU is a major investor in Greenland's economy, providing development aid and supporting research projects.
China, too, is vying for influence in Greenland.
It sees the island as a potential source of raw materials and a strategic foothold in the Arctic.
This geopolitical maneuvering has put Greenland in a delicate position.
It must navigate the competing interests of global powers while asserting its own sovereignty and pursuing its own development goals.
The outcome of this geopolitical game will have significant implications for the future of the Arctic and the world.
Greenland stands at a crossroads. The path it chooses will have profound consequences for its people and the world. Full independence from Denmark remains a possibility. However, achieving economic self-sufficiency is a major challenge. Exploiting Greenland's natural resources could provide the financial means for independence. However, it also carries risks. Environmental damage, cultural disruption, and dependence on foreign investment are all potential pitfalls. Greenland must carefully weigh the costs and benefits of resource development. Greenland's future is uncertain, but one thing is clear: the world is watching. The decisions made in Nuuk, Greenland's capital, will have repercussions far beyond the island's icy shores. Greenland's story is a reminder that even in the remotest corners of the globe, the forces of history are at work, shaping the destiny of nations and the future of our planet.